Hi, I'm Lorien, and this is the Knitting End podcast. This is episode 7. Today happens to be May the 7th, and I'm glad you're here. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. And it must be a thing about sevens because we're almost at 700 subscribers. So if you are enjoying this and have not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. If you would like notifications from YouTube of when I publish a new episode, ring the bell. Subscribing helps YouTube show this kind of content to like-minded viewers. So thanks. I hope you're doing well. I have a finish, a couple of near finishes, 3 works in progress, and a few acquisitions to show you today, and a very short and section. All right, what I'm wearing is my finished object. I'm going to stand up off of this seat and show you. This is the Calypso worsted sweater, and it is a pattern by Black Cat Knitting Co. And there is a sport weight version, and actually I'm gonna stand so you could see a little bit closer. And there's this newer version, which was worsted weight. And I have already knit the sport weight in December. What I love about this pattern is how it optimizes, like really utilizes the color changing yarns. So the navy yarn that I'm using is Gilliat by Rerum Natura. The color changing yarn is from Spincycle. It's the Dreamstate base. And I bought these as seconds. I happened to ask for, I don't know, pinks or brights or something. And I had 3 skeins in this sort of colorway, which I'm told is the ranunculus, but they must have been seconds quality. I love this little feature, this corrugated ribbing on the cuff. I knit the 3rd size, which is often what I end up knitting. It's roomy, it's also worsted, and we're at an 85-degree day here. So this is probably the first time I'll wear it, and the only time until next fall, unless we have some colder weather. But I'm very happy with how it came out. It blocked beautifully. I did do a mid-project block to see how much the body grew so that I would know when it came around to doing the sleeves what I had left to play with. To be honest, I pretty much used up all of the navy yarn for the sweater. I think I have less than a gram left. I really enjoyed this knit. It's of course much faster in a worsted weight yarn. And I don't know, the color work, it's just very well thought out. I did manipulate my color. So I managed the color changing yarns quite a bit. There were some purples coming through that I just wasn't loving in combination with the yellow, and I cut it out. And so I do have quite a few scraps of the Spincycle left, and like I said, I pretty much used up all of the navy. Next, I have some near finishes. This is a gift. I think I mentioned in episode 6, this is really one of my favorite baby items to make. It's the second time I've made it. The first time was 14 years ago for a very dear friend. And this time I made it for another friend who became a grandmother for the first time. So this will be going to baby Rebecca. It is called the Tiny Ribbons. I have my notes down here. Tiny Ribbon Baby Dress by Astrid Colding Sivertsen. It is a free pattern. It is knit from the bottom up. And this is, I believe she says this is a Japanese stitch pattern that she then worked into the dress. And I think it's so dainty, so beautiful. It does call for a crocheted edging around the neckline and the sleeves. I do need to add buttons. So one side is seamed, this side, and then this side has 2 buttons here. I knit this in Line Brand Coboo, which is a 51% cotton, 49% rayon from bamboo. I love Coboo. I have a sweater for myself that I've knit in the same white, and I just think it feels delicious. It's easy to wear. It's very nice for summer wearing. And the only thing about this pattern is you have to knit it when the baby's going to be 3 to 6 months, because that's the only size it's designed for. So that's also why I knit it in cotton. It's a DK weight pattern, and I think this will be great. I will give I don't know if you ever do this. Do you gift like the washing instructions for the yarn with the gift? I think I'm going to, especially because it's a baby knit. Like, I very intentionally put the pink. The mom said, I said, what color do they dress the baby in? And she said, oh, pink. So it's a first baby and her first grandchild. It's a girl. And I thought I had pink and white, and I didn't think I had enough to do it all in one color. So I decided to put the pink at the top just in case, I don't know, it got stained. I don't know. So buttons, I love the idea of buttons. I don't love matching buttons to projects. I don't know about you. I just find it really hard to find the right button for the project. So I just pulled out, I have a box. I thought it had more buttons in it, but then I have a bag and that has some buttons. So I'm gonna take a look, see what I can find. But I probably will not show that again because I really would like to give it away. The baby's 2 months now, and I'm excited for them to have it. I have to finish the buttons. Okay, the other almost finished, this side looks finished, project is my Matrjoschka mittens. Oh, I see I haven't done ends. So that's part of almost finished. The other piece of finishing is there is some quite a bit of duplicate stitching to do. You can see these faces have no faces. The dolls have no faces. There's some decorative duplicate stitching that goes on this main doll, and more that goes on the doll on the thumb. This is a pattern by Elenor Mortensen. It is a very traditional, I'm gonna say Scandinavian because I don't know if it's Norwegian or not, but mitten pattern where you knit from the cuff up. See, I have ends to do here. I think she has this super sweet, I love this faux cable, and you'll see this again soon. You knit from the bottom, from the cuff up, you put the stitches for the thumb on hold, you then cast on more, you keep knitting, you close everything up, then you go back and you add on the thumb. These worked up actually pretty quickly because they were really fun. I used my sock blockers, and as it happened, a baking spatula fits perfectly, a narrow one, right in the thumb. I did post a picture on my Instagram. If you are not following me there, I'm glad to connect with you here, Instagram, Ravelry. I am Yarn Love Turtle on all 3 platforms. What else can I say? I think these are really fun. I have a couple of color work mitts, fingerless mitts for winter, but I did not have any fully closed mittens. Really wanted a pair. Love this design. And so I have gone through my kind of scrap yarn bin and found most of the colors. This black is not dark enough. I have a solid black. And I'll be at some point taking the time, not really a rush, not mitten season here, but just to get these finished. Really enjoyed working these. The red yarn is from Mitchell Wool Co. It is their Targhee fingering. I don't know if they have that. They have, I think, a bamboo wool blend now for their fingering or sock. And the oatmeal color is from the Gray Sheep Company, Hampshire 4-ply. I think that color is called oatmeal. And the red didn't have a name. It was part of their February monthly club last year, 2023. All right, what else? Next, works in progress. I have 3. Let's start with this one. I am working on a Aran weight sweater in Noro yarns, and I have most of the yoke done. That red there is the lifeline. I put in some I cast on, put in some short rows, and have been slowly increasing. I'm okay with the neck. I may leave it. I may add a small I-cord. It's rolling just a touch, like it's perfect. I am just sort of playing now. I wasn't sure about the last increase, so I put in a lifeline just before it. I think it's gonna be fine, and I'm not working this from a pattern. I'm calling it a freestyle. This is the Noro. It's the Ito base. It's all wool, and I only have 2 balls, so this is probably not going to be a long sleeve sweater. It's gonna be like a transitional sweater because it won't have long sleeves, but it's way too warm for summer. So I just need to knit a bit longer, add some length to the yoke, maybe an inch, maybe a little less, and then I should be able to divide for sleeves. At the moment, I have 256 stitches on my cord, on my needle, and I'm just looking at a bunch of different patterns, mostly the Tin Can Knit Strange Brew sweater recipe, but just even this one is worsted, so I'm able to kind of get a sense using some sweaters I've knit recently. I could have used like a raglan, but I really didn't want the lines that the raglan increases might have caused. I really just wanted a circular yoke down to a straight body, sleeves as long as my yarn would last sweater. So I'm getting there. This is just a pleasure to knit with, Noro Ito. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. I also really recently cast on, I have what I consider like long awaited, because as soon as this pattern came out, I was like, I have to make this. So it is called the Lorien sweater. It is spelled exactly as I spell my name. And it is by Elenor Mortensen, the same designer of the mittens I just showed you. And it uses, it's a little harder to see in this color, but this has the same faux cables on the neckline, and I believe the cuffs and the hemline that the mittens had. Of course, it's a little bit shorter. So I have this fabulous, and that's pretty much as bright as it is, at least what's showing on my screen. So it's a fingering weight colorwork sweater. This yarn is by the Sheepyshire. It is their staple sock, fingering weight. What is that? Let's see. It's a 75-25 blend, and the colorway is called Pizzazz. And I've just hit the color work, so there are short rows in the back. And my other color is this fabulous green. And the green is my first time using at Haynes House Yarns. And the colorway is called Just Leave Me Alone. And I will have, that is the main color, or the color used most. It says this colorway is a shout out to the trees that never turn. Leave them alone. This is also a 75-25. And both of these yarns have great yardage. I think this one is 463 and this one is 460. So I have started, I've done one round with the green. I'll have a lot more to show because I can't put this down. Now the sweater is designed for long sleeves. I don't think I have enough yarn for that, and that's okay. I will just knit the body to the length that I want it to be, and I will knit the sleeves. They may even be short sleeves. We shall see. And then my third work in progress, which I wish I had more to show, but I have made some good progress, is my Milton cardigan. This is a pattern by Locatelli. That's all I have. I don't know, this is like the collar of one side. I am using yarn from, it's designed with Aimee yarn, and I am using Noir in the Surrey Little Kumo and the Merino Sport base. So there's quite a lot more to see here. Hopefully next time there will be. So and I'm using, so because it's black needles, I am using my, because it's black yarn, I'm using my pink Licca needles. Oh, speaking of which, I have one more thing I'll have to show. All right, so that's pretty much it. I have knit designs by Hoki Locatelli before, 2 other cardigans. Hoki is 5'7" and I am 5'3". I find her arm to body length, she usually runs designs for 24 inches, and that is just way too long for me. That's like a robe. So, so I should be able to get away with like 21 inches or so length of the body. We'll see. I'll see as I'm going how my yardage is working up, but I'm very excited to have this sweater. It is a very straightforward pattern so far, and we'll see where it goes. Okay, a couple of quick things. I keep meaning to show you. At Vogue Knitting Live New York City this year, one of the things I like to do when I've gone to events and I meet up with a friend is buy stitch marker sets and divide them up as souvenirs. And so I attended with my friend Shannon, and we purchased together some stitch markers from Artfully Twisted, and we purchased their tarot cards. And I have 3 and she has 3. I have the sun, some kind of priestess, I think, here. And I don't remember what this one was. I just think these are great. They're really light, but they're a good size. So a lot of fun. And when I put these in my handbag and kept forgetting to take them out. Okay. Another thing that I recently acquired, a friend of mine, an Instagram friend, received a prize that she just decided she was not going to use, not going to knit from, and she wrote to me and said, Lorien, will you make anything from this book? So she sent me Knits from the LYS. There you go. This is a collection by Espace Tricot. This is put out by Lina Publishing, and it's a whole bunch of patterns that the owners of Espace Tricot, who publish so many patterns free of charge, put together in a book and offered. So thank you, May, my friend, who sent this to me. I'm gonna take a quick sec, run and grab something, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna keep talking to you because it's so close by. Okay, I'm back. Podcast etiquette. Some of you may recall from either episode 6 or episode 5 when I showed you my Yoke Meditation 3, Series 3, Yoke Meditation Series 3 sweater. I ended up breaking quite a few of my needles, my fixed circular needles, and I was using 2.5 wooden Licca needles, and they broke. They broke. It was a sport weight yarn. It was a very fine gauge, a dense fabric, but that's how it was designed. And I should have known after the second needle tip that broke that this was a bad plan and I should have switched to metal. I love Licca products. I love the feel of the wood to knit with, and I was really disappointed. And someone reminded me, hey, you know, they do have a return, like a damaged product. They hold true to their warranty. These needles were also purchased inside of a year. And it's a very easy return process. Really, you have to fill out a return form, which is just online on their website. And then you do send them the broken parts. I had broken something else. I think I had broken a tip to an interchangeable needle once. They sent it back. And so I did this. I sent one of them back because I didn't remember and I didn't save the other 2. I only claimed for 2. And I heard from their customer service. They received my form. They never received what I sent them back, which is so strange because I went to the post office and mailed it to them, which wasn't cheap, but didn't cost quite as much as buying a new needle. And they ended up shipping me replacement ones. So thank you very much, Licca. They happen to both be indigo. I didn't really care what color they were. One is a 2 and one is a 2.5. They're both 40 inch. So yay. And they make they send you a nice letter, look up, make happy. They want you to be happy with their products. So look, I know not everybody has had the same experience, but I thought they really deserve a shout out because customer service contacted me, said, we haven't found it. Do you have any pictures? Fortunately, because I post so many things on Instagram, I did have pictures, and it was very clear that they were 2 different needles that I had broken. All right. 2 weekends ago was the Connecticut Sheep and Wool Festival, which is held annually the last weekend in April in North Haven, Connecticut, which is about a 40-minute drive from where I live. And my friends, some of my local knitting friends and I made a day of it. And we all met at my house as the driver, and we went up. And somehow I bought no yarn. Go figure. However, I could not pass up this absolutely amazing, amazing bag, which I'm going to use as a handbag as soon as we finish showing it to you here. Isn't this fabulous? Inside, so it's a shoulder bag. The shoulder bags were all 50% off. Inside is a zipper pocket and a pocket, zipper, other pocket. Is it a flat bottom? It's a flat bottom. It has one of those like pieces in the bottom to help it sit flat. They were right in one of this vendor had amazing placement right in the first barn, first thing you saw, and I was pretty much sold. So they're Taleo Handmade. The owner's name is Sally Strasser. She gave me her card. And she also started showing us how all of the fabrics are made. So this red section, this very colorful top section here, is the bottom of a skirt. And these come, the bag, all the pieces of what go into her bags come from Laos and Vietnam. So she gave me some other pictures of that she took when she was, actually I think maybe it's like that, or it's like that, I'm not totally sure. And then this one with the woman working, just carrying the baby on the back and working with the fibers. So she showed us like the raw fiber. It was really, really fascinating. And I love this. I think it's a great spring summer bag. So very happy to use it and have it. Okay. Couple more quick things. Like I mentioned before, when I've gone to events, I really think it's a fun way to have a souvenir is I will buy a stitch marker set and split it up among any friends who have gone with me. Katrinkles was there, and they do a lot of knitting accessories, tools that are made with like a laser cut, I think, out of wood or plastic. And I want to show this to you. She had mystery packs of markers. And I asked, okay, how many are in there? What am I getting? Because I need at least 5. And so she looked up on her register and she said 10. I said, perfect. So I just took there were maybe only 4 or 5 left, and opened it up with my friends, and I said, we're just gonna go around, you guys pick, I'll take what's left. Well, the first thing I opened was this little turtle. So all bets were off, and the turtle was mine, because it had to be. Otherwise, I let them pick. There were all kinds of things. I think there were 5 or 6 of like plastic with colors, and then the rest were wood. So mine is a turtle, and the other one I got, I think that's a corgi. Let's say it's a corgi, but if you think it's something else, let me know. Some kind of dog. And as I was checking out, Katrinkles, I think her name's Katie, but I could be wrong, so, had said, fill a bag of buttons. And so she had just a box, she had these little plastic bags, and said, help yourself to fill a bag of buttons. And they were all very sweet buttons. So there were some ones with bunnies on them. bunny. This one has a ladybug. And I have multiples of each. Oh, I didn't even know what this one said. This one says made with, and then there's a heart by mom. I guess you could just put the little heart outwards. And then this one just says made, a square one says, what does it say? Knit, oh, knit with love. Those are probably all the ones I got, but I got quite a few, as you saw. I got quite a few of each of them, and so I think that's really sweet. You could just like stitch this onto like the edge of a hat or bottom of a sweater. So I don't think these bunnies are quite right for the dress. Oh, is that the bunny? Yeah. I don't think these are right for the little baby dress. I think I need something that's not made of wood. Something a little more even, I don't know, maybe softer, just to go with the white. And, so that's everything. That's what's going on. I'm really excited for these lighter weight knits. I am excited to work the Noro, but because I only have the 2 skeins of it, it's gonna finish pretty quickly. And I'm excited to be working in like short sleeve, fingering weight projects. Or this one's sport, but sport with lace projects. And I am not letting myself get too far ahead into summer knitting, but excited about what's to come. I did order some yarn. I will have that to show for you next time. That's all the knitting. The and section today that I wanted to talk about is pillows. Sleeping pillows, like the pillow you rest your head on. I'm really picky. I don't know about you. I'm really picky about my pillows. I like a firm pillow. And lately, because I'm in my 50s, I am finding I'm very warm at night. Never in my life have I been warm. I have always been the most cold person. But now, times have changed. Hormones have changed. And I'm warm. I'm not sweating. Like, I'm not having night sweats, but I just cannot sleep if I'm warm. And I did order to try. I have tried many different pillows. I also, if I'm driving somewhere and staying overnight in a hotel, a friend's house, family's house, I bring my own pillow. I had a pillow I loved. I used it for years. I thought I bought a replacement based on the tag, and it's just not the same. It hasn't held up the same. So I have ordered another pillow. I am gonna give it a try. But if you happen to have a pillow that's decently firm, that you love, and if you have tried a cooling pillow, I would love to know more about your experiences there. And hopefully I'll have some experience next time to share with you how this one that I'm trying is going. I ordered a pillow. It's on the pricier end of the range. But I have had sheets from this company. It's called Coop, C-O-O-P. They recently acquired the company that I bought the sheets from, so now they sell the sheets. And I had seen some local people in like a local Facebook group recommend the pillows. And I tend to sleep on my side or my stomach. Sometimes I end up on my back. And so I got kind of a multi-use pillow. It's square on top, and then it has an arch on one end, and that's where you put like your shoulder, and your head goes into the arch. So I'm really curious to know your experience with pillows, if you have any recommendations. I don't really do feather pillows. I also think those would be very, very warm. So let me know. One more thing, which I'm just gonna mention, is lipstick. So I usually put lipstick on before I record. There's a little history here. So I used to have a coworker for about 20 years. I had a corporate career, and I had a coworker who I worked very closely with who told me I needed lipstick. I looked like a corpse otherwise. And so I got in the habit, because I didn't want to look like a corpse, of wearing lipstick. Not all the time, but when I go out, I'm not always to school where I work. Sometimes I will wear a pink, not a red. People notice when I wear red. The other thing though is I have seen 2 other podcasters recently wearing red lipstick. So if you happen to watch, what does she say? Best Day Ever podcast by Tie-Dye Diva is what she goes by on Instagram. Her name is Trish. She just put out a vlog from Maryland Sheep and Wool, which is fantastic. And she's wearing red lipstick in it, and it looks fabulous. Also, Emma from Tiny Desk Knitting, another YouTube podcast, who happens to also be in that Maryland kind of region or state, also has been wearing red lipstick lately. And so I thought, okay, not alone. Maybe it's a trend, but mine is kind of comes from the fact that I don't want to look like a corpse. All right. And I don't remember this color. It's Elia brand. So if anybody's interested, leave a comment. I will look up the color name. It's Elia, I-L-I-A. I'll put that in the show notes. This is not a very high-tech podcast. I don't do any editing, but there are show notes. There are links in the show notes. I have gotten that far. All right. It was great to see you, and I hope to be back in a couple of weeks with some progress. Take care.